this particular team session. Welcome to Future Mooters. I see new names. Thank you so much Moot Club for organising IHL Moot Refreshment Night. So I understand that Dr. Farid will be late. Betul Hakim? Lambat sikit Dr. Farid? Okay. So usually it will be him lah who start the speech, and basically he has the basics of IHL. Okay. So on the part of university or perhaps faculty, okay, at close level, I thank everyone for your commitment, okay, to be part of the Mooting family. As Timah Dekan, my concern is how motivated you are in joining the team, in bringing the name of the university to the next level. Yesterday we had NAMCO night, okay, so we had the same session about NAMCO yesterday. So today we are going to move on to something a little bit more advanced, because mooting ni dia ada banyak stage dan banyak, I would say, macam levels lah. Okay, so NAMCO is like very basic. Law Asia tak ada kita tak ada buat Law Asia, Kim tak ada.
Last semester kita tak join.
Tak join, I see. Okay. So usually, yes, usually it starts with NAMCO, lepas tu ada Law Asia. Law Asia ni dia tak ada writing submission. You akan submit secara oral saja. So I would say it's basic lah, okay. And they will test you on the basics, understanding of basic law. Tetapi IHL, going by the name, is International Humanitarian Law. You are going to go to specific issues of IHL, and I believe only experts or those who are in the field lah, contoh Dr. Farid, okay, this is his niche study. So IHL will be best explained by him, but what I can say is if you make the right decision, insyaAllah, congratulations, okay, you'll be part of IHL Moot juga, okay, and hopefully we can see new faces lah, because we join IHL almost every year. I don't think we miss any IHL mooting competition. I think 2018 we had, also 2017, even before that. Only thing is the difference in of course the team and also the coach. Okay, so before Dr. Farid came to FSU, we had other coaches before that, and IHL is consists one of our best achievements. Sebab kalau Jasad dengan NAMCO kita turun naik, tapi IHL dia ada satu consistency that I can see lah. Okay, in terms of kita punya pencapaian in not only memorial but oral submissions. When I say we have one of the best, is not to say in terms of ranking kita menang ke tak. It's not about that, but I compare by our progress, because the best competitor is competing with yourself. You are not comparing yourself with other universities, established ke tak established universities, so tak kisah. But I see the progression of IHL ni in a very good way lah, and thankfully Dr. Farid is here to join us, okay. And also when he started to join FSU, kita banyak buat pembaharuan pasal IHL. Another thing I notice about IHL is kita banyak belajar secara stages, okay, because dia banyak sangat draft. Kita buat version of kita punya draft tu like many different versions, so the more you prepare, okay, the more you can edit, and the better presented your memorials will be on the competition day or on the submission day. So hopefully tonight we get to learn some bits about IHL, introductory, okay, just feel just go easy with it, okay, and it's something that you hear every day on the news or on the social media. Only thing is you have to understand the legal side to it, okay, and how you're supposed to present the case before real judges. So thank you so much everyone, and hope to see you with your cameras on, and feel free to ask questions after the session. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Terima kasih Dr. Malina atas ucapan aluluan dan sebagai satu pembuka lah kepada kita semua untuk melihat lebih jauh tentang masa depan kita dalam bidang mooting sendiri. So dalam slide ni saya ada masukkan beberapa gambar ataupun boleh kita katakan cebisan memori lah untuk tim IHL 2019. Jadi kalau antara kalian ni ada yang berminat untuk join IHL, mungkin muka-muka anda yang akan masuk dalam IHL Moot Refreshment pada next year. Okey, kita tengok satu-satu. Okey, so ni ialah gambar persediaan sebelum ISL Mooting Competition. So hujung tu kita ada Dr. Farid, Kak Sarah, Kak Zara dengan other seniors lah. So ni ialah mood chamber lah kalau first year yang mana masih lagi belum masuk fakulti ataupun tengok lawak-lawak bilik dalam fakulti. So ni adalah bilik yang selalu nama dia mood chamber dan tempat yang mana selalu Mooters, researcher and mooting club members selalu lepak sini lah. And then this room actually purpose dia adalah antara preparation lah. Preparation for mooters and any kalau preparation to any mooting competition yang kita buat dekat dalam faculty lah. Contohnya macam IMCC and then kita ada juga pertandingan moot syariah yang dikelola oleh Persatuan Moot Syariah. So lazimnya bilik ini digunakan untuk kegunaan seperti berikut lah. So bilik ni ada aircon, sangat selesa lah. Okay, kemudian kita dapat nampak gambar ni Kak Anis and then other seniors. So memang agak semak sikit lah sebab suasana
Is it only me or the screen has frozen?
Yes, doctor.
I think Hakim have problem.
Disconnected perhaps, yeah? Is he out or is he still part of the list? Ada, tapi dia tak appear Okay. Hakim, we cannot hear you. Just to let you know.
Hello, test.
Yes.
Ya,
Okay.
Okay. So tadi sebentar tadi kita ada sedikit masalah teknikal. Tak apa, jangan risau. Sekarang ni sebelum kita tayang lebih banyak memori dalam IHL dari segi preparation dan dari segi macam mana hari waktu pertandingan mooting tu dan post after IHL mooting competition, kita jemput Dr. Farid untuk memberi sepatah dua kata lah. Saya lihat Dr. Farid sudah lama menunggu di bahagian audien tu. Jadi dijemput Dr. Farid.
Boleh dengar
Ya, boleh.
Boleh, doktor.
Alright, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Right, sorry for being late. So I just arrived from Cheras. So tadi traffic jam sikit. Right, first of all, I would like to thank our mooting club and also Mr. Hakim for organizing this event. And also I would like to thank to Dr. Amalina for spending her time out of her hectic schedule, and also ladies and gentlemen. So I would like to warmly welcome everyone to this online discussion on IHL. So basically yesterday, so for those who have attended last night's meeting on NAMCO Moot, so today is about international humanitarian law. So I believe that some of you are wondering what is actually IHL. So basically IHL is the law of war. So right, conflict of laws relating to wars and war crimes and the crimes of genocide, which have been committed worldwide, right? So basically, the moot problem provided, provided by the International Committee of the Red Cross, ICRC, or in Bahasa we call it Palang Merah, right? So the Red Cross, right? So they normally create a more or less similar facts, which a number of situations which are occurring worldwide. So they combine all these facts into a moot problem. So internationally, the same moot problem have been distributed to all law schools in the world. So all law schools will be competing on the same moot problem. So this is basically IHL. So it is international mooting competition. So normally in Malaysia, we have national round first, and then those who have won the national round will compete at the international level in Hong Kong, right? So normally IHL will be convened between October to November. So the international round will be on March to April, right? So these are some basic informations on IHL. So, normally we have seen in TVs, on internet, right? Ada jenayah perang, contoh dekat Palestine, right? So dekat Sudan, right? Libya, Iraq, Kuwait, right? And so on, right? So these are, whatever related facts or situations relating to, kekejaman, the use of weapons, right? Things like that. So all this, will be translated into a moot problem, and then the mooters will be submitting before the International Criminal Court. Normally will be prosecuted. They will be prosecuting the perpetrators of the crime. So those who have committed the crime. So normally those who are in the higher position of a country, for example, head of state, head of government, right, military high-ranking officials, right, so and so on, right. So to address the bench or to address the courts are different with those of national court. In national court, we normally address the courts or the judges as my lords or my ladies, right? But for international court, such as the International Criminal Court, then we will be addressing the benches as your excellencies, right? So various international laws will be argued, right? Mostly on the Geneva Conventions, right? The customary international law, and also the cases, previous cases, right? Which will be applied in the given facts, right? So as usual, any mooting competition, the judges will ask questions, right? So so during my time, so I started to join IHL when I was in my second year, right? Masa tu second year I start join. Dulu tak pernah belajar apa lagi public international law. Baru first belajar contract kan? Oh yes, contract. Public international law tak belajar pun. Customary law, international law tak tahu. Semua tu tahu, right? So then kita orang start belajar dengan sendiri, right? So with regards to achievement, so during my time sampai semi-final je. But my junior and your senior dah sampai final, and ada dapat naik Johan and best mooter untuk national round. Tapi your senior tu dah arwah lah sekarang. So Mr. Hazim tu. So dulu coach orang luar. So when I joined FSU, so I yang take over untuk IHL Moot and Jasad Moot, right? So I believe that kita tak pernah miss lagi kot IHL. But JASEP tu kita on and off, right? Depending on the issues, right? Because throughout the year we have at least 4 mooting competitions at least, right? Kita ada NAMCO, kita ada Low Asia, and then kita ada IHL and JASEP. So semua ni berturutan. Sometimes competition tu tak habis lagi, then the next competition dah start dah, right? So since I seorang je yang handle, so agak susah untuk kita join all the competitions, right? So normally kita akan pilih-pilih depending on the mood problem. If kita rasa macam okay sempat dan kita confident untuk mood that particular area of law, then we will join, right? So because IHL tu kita dah tahu dah, okay, area dia memang pasal law of wars. So since that IHL is within my area of area of research and expertise, then agak senang sikit lah untuk I coach, right? So JASEP pun depends juga, right? Sometimes dia ada issue investment lah, apalah semua tu. So agak susah juga untuk kita participate because ia memerlukan research yang lebih mendalam because IHL dengan JASEP to compare, IHL ni second most difficult mooting competition, right? So my suggestion is if you guys not join any mooting competition, start daripada IMCC and then go for NAMCO and so on, baru you boleh terus pergi IHL or JASEP, right? Because during my time I started dengan JASEP mode. First year ada masuk JASEP mode. Masa tu struggle, I rasa nak lari dan rasa nak balik, right? Because susahnya benda tu, right? Because so many things. Because sometimes you dah rasa you dah tahu macam-macam, but actually you are not, right? So benda tu tidak fokus, right? Dia macam everywhere. So but IHL lebih fokus sedikit berbanding dengan JASEP, right? So other mooting competitions tak sesusah IHL dengan JASEP mode, right? So that is basics, some basic information and introduction or introductory part of IHL mode. So I believe that Dr. Ling has covered most part of the introductory part of IHL mode, and I believe that we have other mooters and researchers for IHL to share their experience with all of you, right? So with that, I thank you.
Okay, terima kasih Dr. Farid atas perkongsian tentang pengalaman Dr. Farid sendiri dalam bidang mooting. Walaupun second year ada keberanian yang tidak semualah kita mampu untuk buat. Tapi saya yakin antara audiens yang ada dalam sesi malam ni pasti ada keinginan ataupun serba sedikit ingin tahu macam mana nak join mooting ataupun IHL ni pasal apa. So tak apa, sebelum kita teruskan dengan sesi perkongsian daripada mooters dan researcher, saya tertarik untuk kongsikan beberapa gambar ataupun memori yang bagi IHL Moot 2019. Okey, so sebelum tu boleh saya tahu semua boleh nampak ke skrin?
Boleh.
Okey. Alright, terima kasih. Okey. So ni ialah beberapa gambar. Ni ialah mood chamber. Ni waktu preparation draft memorial lah. So kita nampak Dr. Farid tengah makan kat situ. Okey, kemudian kita ada gambar saya, mooters, and then ada researcher yang lain. Tu additional protocol yang tebal-tebal tu. So bukan kita orang selak, baca jugalah sikit. And then kita ada video. Okay, ni situasi submission lah. Okay. Sangkut. Allah. Tiba-tiba jam. Sekejap ya. Oh,
Berat sangat ni laptop Hakim ni. Download benda bukan-bukan lah tu.
tak ada, saya yang kerja dalam ni. So, kita kita tunggu kejap Sekejap saya tutup dulu share screen. Okey, kejap
Hakim duduk tepi highway mana tu? Bunyi motor tu.
Ni saya ada dekat sebelah Lebuh Raya. Berdekatan dengan ni Lebuh Raya Nilai tu. So tak apa, menunggu slide saya okey. So okey, sementara tu saya akan kongsikan serba sedikit lah pengalaman saya sebagai researcher dalam IHL. Sebagai researcher dalam IHL, so first kali saya mulakan perjalanan dengan NAMCO. Kemudian selepas NAMCO tu dia ada satu dilema. Kawan-kawan saya ada yang nak stop, ada yang still lagi nak sambung dengan IHL. So bila fikirkan balik, awal tu macam takut sebab biasa kan berkaitan dengan mooting tambah-tambah dengan international humanitarian law. Benda tu satu perkara yang baru yang saya sendiri pun tak tahu apa tu IHL. Dan kemudian bermula dengan NAMCO tu dengan saranan dan nasihat daripada Dr. Farid. Dia cakap bila kita join mooting, satu benda yang kita patut tahu ialah bila kita masuk mooting jangan pernah berhenti ataupun stop. Mungkin kadang kita perlukan rehat, tapi bila berkaitan mooting ni, dia perlu satu usaha yang konsisten lah. Supaya skill yang kita dapat melalui pertandingan sebelum ni, so kita dapat asah. So bermula dengan perjalanan dalam IHL tu, saya jumpa lagi dengan tim yang sama. Waktu NAMCO saya ada Kak Alia, ada Kak Zara, Kak dan kakak yang lain lah, Kak Sarah sekali. So berbekal daripada pengalaman daripada NAMCO tu, saya join IHL. Kemudian antara isu yang saya kena handle waktu jadi researcher dalam IHL ialah pasal no quarter. So apa tu no quarter? No quarter ni dia berkaitan tentang bila mana IHL, International Humanitarian Law ni dia ada 3 basic principle. So antaranya ialah principle of distinction. So ni apa yang saya belajar lah sebelum ni dekat dalam public international law, subject PIL. So saya baca berkaitan international law ni, dia secara tak langsung kita kena bincangkan bila satu commander of armed forces ataupun general tentera ni dia nak lancarkan serangan, serangan tu kalau dia tak ambil kira orang yang ada dekat tempat tu, sama ada dia civilian ataupun salah seorang daripada penjenayah ataupun sasaran target ni lah, jenayah perang, so dia boleh dijatuhkan hukuman under ni lah, under Rome Statute, under Individual Criminal Responsibility. And then no quarter ni dia macam dia tak bagi peluang langsung lah kepada pihak penentang untuk menyerah diri. So okay, so sekarang ni semua boleh nampak kan skrin saya. So kemudian kita ada gambar-gambar preparation waktu IHL. So ni waktu draft memorial. And then kita ada ni Kak Anis tengah submit. And then ni Dr. Farid tengah mengamuk sebab ada ni lah, ada masalah editing memorial sikit. Biasalah masalah-masalah macam titik, koma, salah citation, benda-benda partikular lah. Kemudian ni macam kita orang kadang-kadang buat research sampai malam. So ni lah, semayang pun dekat dalam mood chamber. So ni Yong tengah pakai telekung. Ni and then kita ada gambar-gambar researcher yang lain. Okay, and then ni dengan Dr. Arif, waktu ni preparation lah, macam nak bagi semangat kepada mutus untuk sesi untuk mooting competition nantilah dekat UIA. So and then gambar ni ialah waktu tengah print memorial. Time ni printer Mood Club ada problem, printer dekat Mood Chamber ada problem, and then kita orang terpaksa pergi ke kedai untuk print dalam pukul dekat tengah malam jugalah. So agak struggle waktu tu. Kemudian yang ni gambar waktu hampir waktu dekat ni lah, waktu dekat area Gombak time tu, before mooting competition. Ni macam last discussion lah dengan Dr. Farid. Kat sini kita ada Dr. Zu sekali. And then ni gambar Dr. Farid dengan one of IHL committee. Dia Dr. tak ingat nama dia, tapi dia agak orang yang ni lah, orang yang mempunyai pengaruh ataupun kefahaman yang tinggi lah berkaitan dengan IHL. Tak silap dia anggota ICRC. So and then ni kita nampak competition day. So ni ialah gambar-gambar waktu competition day lah. Then kita ada gambar seterusnya dengan senior dan ada researcher and mutus yang lain lah. Okay, so ni gambar kat parking. So ni Dr. Farid tengah bagi semangat, tengah bagi semangat dekat semua mutus sebelum masuk untuk tengok result. So and then ni lah kepingan-kepingan gambar. And then ni siapa kenal ni? Ni ialah Alan Razak. And then kita ada ni lah gambar-gambar dengan Josh and mutus and mutus daripada other law fact. Then post HL kita ada gambar makan-makan. So itu saja. Ada gambar kurang. Okay. So tu sedikit perkongsian tentang ni lah, tentang pengalaman saya sebagai researcher dalam IHL. Nasihat saya buat semua, walaupun benda tu agak macam mana, first time kita nak belajar pasal IHL, benda-benda yang baru, Tapi perlu ada satu keinginan ataupun hasrat daripada diri kita untuk berubah menjadi lebih baik daripada hari sebelumnya. Kalau misalnya semalam kita baru belajar membaca, hari ini kita sudah boleh menulis ataupun macam-macam lagi lah. So nasihat saya cuma mudahlah, ambil langkah untuk maju ke hadapan. So itu sekian saja perkongsian daripada saya. Okey, saya nampak Dr. Zu dekat dalam sesi malam ni. Boleh saya jemput Dr. Zu untuk kongsikan pengalaman Dr. Zu dengan Mutus and Researcher, apa yang Dr. Zu nak kongsikan ataupun lebih kepada perkongsian lah kepada semua audiens malam ni.
Dr. Zu. Oh, Dr. Zu.
Yeah. Line tak clear.
Okey. Okey, baik, sementara menunggu Dr. Zu, jadi lebih baik kita teruskan dengan perbincangan tentang bagaimana proses untuk submission di dalam international humanitarian law dengan lebih spesifik lah. Jadi memandangkan hari ini kita tidak dapat menerima kehadiran daripada Mutus ke Alia sebab dia terlibat dengan program live yang mana akan berlangsung pada hari Sabtu ni. Malam ni dia ada rehearsal. Kemudian Mutus kita yang lain, Kak Akila, dia ada masalah internet lah. And then dengan Mutus kita yang terakhir, Kak Anis, dia baru balik daripada kerja. So perkongsian daripada Mutus hari ni mungkin agak terhad lah, tapi daripada researcher mungkin kita ada 2-3 orang dalam sesi Moot Refreshment ni. Jadi saya tertanya-tanya lah, bila kita mooting dalam buat submission dalam mooting competition, macam mana kita nak jawab ataupun address question daripada judges tu. Dalam masa yang sama kita nak sampaikan kita punya oral submission. Boleh Dr. Farid kongsikan macam mana preparation in submission lah untuk address just question.
Alright, basically dalam mooting, sebelum kita pergi mooting tu, kita dah prepare sets of questions, right? For example, we know already our arguments, right? So from our arguments tu, judges boleh tanya macam-macam dengan soalan. So we must prepare all the WH questions beforehand, right? So that bila judges tanya soalan, we will have all the answers. Not only the answers to the questions, but also we must answer the questions based on legal authorities. We cannot simply bagi opinion kita this and that, right? But we must support our answer with legal authorities, with the provisions of the laws, and also with cases, right? Kes ni cakap apa, kes ni cakap apa, right? So whatever you utter, whatever you say, whatever you answer to the judges, diorang akan trigger macam-macam lagi soalan, right, from your answers, right? So that is why not only we must prepare all the WH questions beforehand, but also we need to prepare or practice or rehearse our oral submissions, right? So masa rehearsal tu lah macam-macam akan judges yang masa rehearsal tu akan tanya you macam-macam soalan. So more or less the same questions will be asked by the real judges masa competition tu, right? So kalau kita tak buat rehearsal, then kita tak boleh nak foresee or predict apa soalan-soalan tu, right? Sometimes they will ask questions beyond your expectation, right? So through practice then kita boleh macam mana nak mengelak daripada jawab soalan tu, ataupun kalau memang tak ada jawapan then macam mana kita nak address the benches and all that, right? But kalau dalam practice atau kalau dalam training, never ever I takkan biarkan the mooters untuk say tak ada jawapan, right? They must have the answer, like it or not. So that is why bila je habis je hantar memorial, I akan bagi cuti rehat sehari atau 2 hari je, right? Because sebelum tu memang dah penat sampai tengah-tengah malam untuk prepare memorial. Once memorial dah submit, dah exchange memorial tu, normally I akan bagi mooters 2-3 hari untuk berehat, and then lepas 2-3 hari then kita akan start intensif punya oral preparation, right? So I akan jadi seganas yang mungkin untuk tanya mooters macam-macam soalan. So towards the end baru kita akan jemput other lecturers yang ada bidang kepakaran dalam IHL untuk sit down and listen to our mooters submissions. So masa tu barulah kita akan dapat fresh perspective. Because sometimes kalau I seorang je yang handle, I dah terbiasa dengan submissions tu, I dah terbiasa dengan arguments tu, right? So bila ada orang lain yang dengar kita punya submissions, sometimes dia akan trigger new questions, right? So from there kita akan jot down and then prepare, right? Perhaps that the same questions might be asked by the real judges during the competition. So kalau kita tak ada these kind of rehearsals, then bila you pergi competitions tu nanti, right, normally judges dekat IHL dengan JSEP ni dia ganas, right? Dia ganas. I noticed that 2-3 years before, composition of judges sangat berbeza during my time. Zaman I moot dulu, masa IHL, composition judges kalau preliminary round dia ada 3 judges. Chief Justice ataupun President of the International Criminal Court tu ialah Court of Appeal ataupun Federal Court Judge. Right, during my time, Gopal Sriram. The next judge ialah daripada military. Memang orang military. Colonel ataupun first star general. Right, 1 star general. Right, dia memang general dalam military. Right, and then the other one is senior lawyer. Right, so ada 3 composition tu. So masa oral submission, you tak boleh nak tipu pasal undang-undang perang tu, because ada general dekat situ. Dia tahu selok-belok perang tu. And taktik-taktik perang semua tu dia akan macam-macam dia akan tanya you. Alright. So kalau you tak well prepared, then you akan terperangkap dengan soalan dia. Alright. So judges pula dia dah memang experience dalam bertanyakan soalan, and dia nak tahu macam mana authority bila macam mana you nak apply case and what not. Alright. So lawyer pula akan tengok macam mana you present your case, right? You punya decorum, you punya demeanor, how do you present your case, right? So 3 komposisi judges ni akan menilai oral submissions tu, alright? So when I came back from my PhD, so 2017 I start coach, right? Team FSU masa tu. So bila pergi competition tu, I noticed that judges tu dah tak sama macam dulu. Right, judges normally dia orang akan panggil practicing lawyers ataupun daripada Aegis Chamber, right? And and some of them adalah daripada ICRC sendiri, right? Kalau dulu memang composition judges 3. Bila sampai semi final dulu, in my time dulu, bila sampai semi final ada 5 judges, right? One of the judges apa tu, 2 senior court judges, Federal Court, Court of Appeal, right? And then ada Duta Iceland yang mana dia dulu ialah penasihat undang-undang dekat United Nations. Alright, and then senior lawyer, and then daripada ICRC. So bila dah komposisi judges ni macam tu, so nak tak nak you memang tak boleh nak lari, you tak boleh nak kelentong whatsoever. Right? So dia orang tahu selok-belok undang-undang, dia orang tahu selok-belok pasal perang tu. Right? Because in IHL dia pasal perang, right? Pasal pembunuhan, genocide, right? Law of war, right? Bunuh sana sini, tembak sana sini, right? So pasal apa tu, taktik perang and what not, right? So bila dah macam itu, bila ada orang daripada tentera kat dalam tu, dia punya soalan ni beyond your imagination, right? So dia akan based on dia punya experience ke apa ke, right? Dia akan tanya macam-macam dekat dalam dunia ni, dia akan tanya you, right? Based on the facts, right? So sometimes you rasa you dah well prepared, but bila dia akan trick you dengan macam-macam soalan based on daripada beberapa paragraph dalam facts of the case tu, and then sometimes you akan terperangkap, right? So macam mana you nak menjawab yang you rasa macam oh god, right? Oh my god, right? Sometimes you akan rasa macam mana nak jawab? Okay, you macam okay, I'm trapped, right? But since kita ada series of preparations, then kita boleh nak lari diri daripada menjawab soalan tu dengan bagi sedikit jawapan and then lari, right? So akan apa tu, during the training or the practice tu, nanti I akan ajar macam mana cara untuk menjawab soalan. Sometimes kita tak tahu or 50-50, we are not sure, then kita try attempt to answer the questions and then try to evade, right, from answering, right, and then proceed. Right, so dia ada style-style untuk menjawab soalan tersebut, right? So kita normally kita tak akan menyerah kalah, right? So we must answer any question whatsoever been asked by the bench, right? Until and unless betul you tak tahu, then you better be honest, say you do not have the answer, right? You cannot assist the court. But you know, seboleh-bolehnya never ever do that, because bila you menyerah, you cakap you don't have the answer, it shows that you are not well prepared. You do not know your case very well, right? So that's all.
Okay, terima kasih Dr. Farid atas penjelasan yang sangat teliti dan dapat memberi serba sedikit gambaran kepada kita bagaimana judges tu, personality judges tu. Kalau pada zaman Dr. Farid tu kita ada general sendiri, orang yang ada pengalaman dalam bidang ketenteraan. Dia lebih faham dan dia lebih nampak gambaran lah macam mana situasi dalam moot problem yang kita jawab tu. Kadang soalan yang dia bagi tu melepasi ataupun menjangkau akal fikiran kita. Jadi selesai berkaitan soal submission. Jadi seterusnya kita saya terima satu soalan berkaitan tentang memorial. Jadi dalam proses penghasilan memorial, apakah kriteria yang ditekankan oleh judge dalam marking memorial? Boleh Dr. Farid kongsikan?
Alright, normally kriteria dalam memorial dengan oral submission sama, right? Sama. So markah dia 100 daripada memorial, 100 daripada oral submission. So dua-dua ni convert jadi 50, right? 50 each. Then baru combine, baru dia akan jadi overall per 100. Now kriteria pertama ialah dia akan tengok knowledge of facts and knowledge of law, right? So macam mana you bila you argue your case in the memorial, you cross refer facts dalam moot problem yang dia beri. Page berapa, paragraph berapa, line number berapa, right? You cross refer to the facts, right? And then whenever you are referring to the facts, right? Ini law students mesti tahu. Bila menjawab any legal issues, dia kena ada sistem menjawab tu. Dia kena ada based on issue, law, application, conclusion, the ILAC. Right? So bila you go to the issue, right, then you apply the law, which section, right, which articles of the laws and whatnot, the cases, and then you apply the cases into the facts at hand. You cross refer, paragraph berapa, page berapa, right, yang you nak tunjukkan ada persamaan, ada perbezaan dengan authority yang you cuba sampaikan. And then you conclude whether the facts at hand fulfill the criteria based on the laws. And then macam tu, right? Now that's number one. Knowledge of the facts, knowledge of the law. Number two, clarity. Right? Clarity ni ialah macam mana you susun you punya submissions tu daripada awal sampailah habis, right? Untuk IHL normally dia akan ada 4 isu, right? And sometimes kita akan timbulkan lagi satu isu, kita letak additional issue. We call it as preliminary issue. So normally preliminary issue ni kita nak contest jurisdiction of the court, or kita nak contest whether the charges against the perpetrator or the client, the defendant tu, adakah charge dia tu berpadanan ataupun memenuhi kriteria undang-undang antarabangsa atau tidak. Right? Once kita dah fulfill or berjaya proof yang kriteria charges tu tak memenuhi undang-undang antarabangsa, dengan sendirinya isu-isu yang lain tu, 4 isu yang lain tu akan tertolak dengan sendiri because dia tak memenuhi kriteria undang-undang antarabangsa. But normally for the sake of mooting, judges akan terima and akan bersetuju yang the charges are in accordance with the criteria, right? Because kalau tak nanti what's the point of you prepare you dah prepare oral submissions daripada awal sampai habis, right? For the sake of submission of oral submission, dia akan bersetuju, but they will ask you so many questions, right? Because you are contesting the crux of the charges, right? Because yang belakang-belakang tu adalah semua charge kepada defendant tu, right? Dia bersalah, dia buat itu, dia launching attack ke, dia bunuh orang ke, alright? So semua ni. So bila dia dah setuju dengan dia punya main criteria, then dia akan follow yang charges yang belakang tu. So second criteria is clarity. So macam mana you susun you punya submission daripada awal sampai ke habis tu, macam mana you cross refer every single line dekat facts, every single page, every single paragraph tu, and then you apply to the facts at hand, right? So these are clarity. Number 2. Number 3 is you punya what do we call that? You punya susunan submissions itu, right? All the titik, all the references, footnotes, alright, everything, right? Whether authority yang you cite dalam memorial tu adakah recent cases ataupun cases yang you cite tu adakah relevant atau tidak, right? And then daripada muka surat depan tu sampai muka surat belakang tu, macam mana you punya you administer your memorial, right? Ada tak sengit-sengit ke memorial tak justify and everything, right? So each criteria tu 25, 25, 25, 25, right? And last kali tu I think that satu lagi criteria tu ialah you punya referencing, right? Yang nombor 3 tu ialah you punya system, systematic ke tidak you punya memorial tu. And then lastly tu you punya referencing, right? All the footnotes and everything, right? So bila 25 kali 4 kriteria akan jadi 100, and then divided by 2, right? And then dia akan jadi per 50, and then added up dengan you punya oral submissions, right? But normally oral submissions takkan dicampur dengan memorial because dia akan ada 2 kriteria, best memorial and oral submissions untuk you go to the next round, right? Oral submissions pun sama, right? Clarity, dia nak tengok clarity you macam mana you construct you punya submissions. Bila you kena attack dengan judges, okay, macam mana you menjawab dengan you provide ke tidak legal provisions or legal authorities. Ada tak cases untuk you menjawab soalan tu? You cross refer ke tidak dengan facts of the case? Macam mana you apply all these legal arguments to into the facts at hand, right? Sometimes oral submission ni dia akan lagi kejam daripada oral memorial. Why? Because as I always mention or advise all the mooters, siapa yang buat isu tu, he or she will not only know about that particular issue only. He or she must know all the issues. Counsel yang lain and counsel lawan dia pun dia kena tahu. Because the judges sometimes bila dia nak test you whether you really know your case or not, dia akan jump the questions within your submission, and sometimes dia akan jump pergi dekat submission yang sepatutnya disubmit oleh the other counsel. Right? Let's say you submit isu nombor 1 dan nombor 2. Isu nombor 3 dengan nombor 4, the other counsel akan submit. Right? So, dia nak test you ni. You tahu ke tidak case you? Dia akan tanya isu yang nombor 4 contoh. So, you cannot simply say to the judge or to the judges that I tak submit yang tu, I submit yang ni je. Right? There's no such thing. Right? So, whenever you're submitting, you must be well versed. Right? So, how to answer sometimes if the judges ask you question beyond your submission, normally we give a brief answer, and then further explanation will be dealt with by that particular counsel in his or her submission after this, right, or after that. Right, so these are all the criteria for both memorial and oral submission. So I hope that I have answered the question. Thank you.
Okay, terima kasih Dr. Farid. Jadi manakala kita sudah melunaskan ataupun menyelesaikan target Moot Refreshment malam ni, iaitu berkaitan tentang submission dan memorial. Jadi saya buka soalan kepada semua audien untuk bertanyakan apa-apa yang berkaitan mooting ataupun IHL kepada Dr. Farid. Dipersilakan. Baik, memandangkan seperti kita tak ada soalan daripada audiens yang lain, sebelum kita tangguhkan program refreshment pada malam ini, ada apa-apa ucapan yang Dr. Farid, Dr. Amalina ataupun Dr. Zu hendak kongsikan kepada pelajar-pelajar yang sertai program malam ni?
Dr. Zu boleh ni? Boleh dengar tak? Boleh cakap tak?
Boleh.
Okey.
Boleh saya dengar suara I?
Boleh.
Boleh.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. Last year. Was it last year? I jadi coordinator for IHL competition 2019. Okay, so I'm teaching civil procedure as well for year 4 and year 5. So for those who wants to be a civil litigator, civil lawyer, when you work later, I think it's a good exposure if you can join this mooting competition. Although for real civil litigation, it will be a bit different from the mooting competition, but it's a good exposure in the sense that you are exposed to all the skills, what is it called, mooting and litigation skills lah. you prepare your, when you do your civil litigation, you prepare your course papers and then you present that in court. Either you are plaintiff or a defendant. If you join the mooting club, the mooting competition, you'll be good exposure in terms of researching if you are a researcher. And if you are a motor, that's better. Okay, there'll be more exposure in you. Okay, because basically you will have skills to do research when you want to present your case, and then when you want to present your case later in terms of oral submission. Okay, because those are the skills of lawyers later. They want to be a civil and also a criminal lawyer lah in future. Beside that, you can have this self-confidence. Okay, you can build your self-confidence. Okay, even though at times you might think that your opponent is quite strong, but if you have this all these exposures, you can come down better, and you have this apa orang kata, skills dia yang tidak boleh didapati from other ni lah. This exposure and skills will be beneficial for the future lah. Even though kalau you nak buat other areas of law yang bukan litigation pun, it will be good, because you need to negotiate with your client kan. Sometimes they argue with you, blah blah blah. Okay, and when you join mooting, when you know how to defend your case, you need to explain or clarify things when asked by the judges kan. Okay, so those are among skills that you need in future. So, and just enjoy this mooting. Okay, not just for the sake of mooting, but for it's a learning process, not just to learn about the law, but the future skills, not just the lawyering skills, but to build your self-confidence as well. So I hope you can enjoy it. It's going to be a bit tough or a bit challenging at times, time consuming, but it's worth it. Okay, it's very beneficial and experience, and then it will add more to your CV lah. Okay, so because the way you speak, the way you are presenting your ideas will be different daripada orang yang tak biasa mooting ni kan. Takut je dia nak argue kan. Tapi kalau you dah biasa mooting, even you dah biasa research pun, you know how to go about doing your research later. Kalau you buat paralegal or you do a chambering and later become a lawyer. So I guess that's all from me.
Okay, terima kasih Dr. Zu. Okay, jadi Dr. Lin atau Dr. Farid ada apa-apa nak dikongsikan?
Hakim, kejap. Tolong add Kak Anis, dia dah bagi email dia dekat group tu.
Oh, kejap.
Dia tak boleh nak join tu.
Sekejap saya cuba buka. Kejap. Okay. Sekejap baru nak buka WhatsApp. Oh, tak pasal Kak Anis WhatsApp. Saya okey, saya cuba add. Okey, kejap. Okay, saya dah add dah Kak Anis. Okay. Jadi sementara menunggu one of the mooters, Kak Anis untuk masuk, boleh kita dengar nasihat-nasihat daripada Dr. Lin atau Dr. Farid untuk ni lah para peserta yang join Moot Refreshment malam ni untuk bawa pulang mungkin something yang dia orang boleh take for knowledge, I guess.
Right, thank you. Now, I nak advise all of you satu benda je, right? Masa study ni, this is the only time for you to improve yourself. Once you have finished your studies, there's no more time because you will embark in a new life, right? I.e. your employment. Right? Masa tu you dah tak ada masa lagi dah untuk improvise. That's number one. Number two, you have to be extraordinary as compared to the other ordinary students. You have to bear in mind that now ada berapa puluh ribu graduates yang akan graduate sama dengan you. Itu tidak campur dan tidak termasuk those yang dah graduate sebelum tu. Right? Kalau diikutkan dicampur semua sekali akan ada hundreds of thousands. Now, what makes you special or what makes you different from any other graduates, right? You ada degree, diorang ada degree, right? So apa added value kepada you as compared to the other applicants yang nak mohon kerja masa tu? Alright, so all this akan dilihat dari segi how do you get yourself involved in a number of co-curricular activities, right? Tak kira lah apa co-curricular activities sekalipun, as long as you have added values, right? But untuk moot ni, tak semua orang ada peluang untuk jadi mooter, right? Not only mooter, but to be part of mooting competition, i.e. becoming one of the researchers, right? Itu pun sudah menunjukkan yang you dah get yourself involved in a very difficult situation masa you tengah belajar masa tu, right? So if let's say you masuk or you participated in one competition at least, right, throughout your 5 year terms of your studies tu, itu pun sudah cukup bagus untuk you present you punya CV, right, you punya application masa you nak minta kerja tu, then the future employer or a possible employer you ni akan tengok, oh, dia pernah masuk moot, right? Because diorang, let's say you nak minta kerja dalam any legal fraternity, they know that you know mooting is tough, right? Not only during oral submission but the whole process, the selection, the preparation of the memorial, right? And then during the oral submissions. So diorang tahu macam mana proses tu. So bila you dah wakil university, alright, in any competitions, alright, regardless of the mooting competitions, so they know that you have improve yourself in terms of anything related to mooting, right, especially. So they will know that you have something more than the other applicants, right? So kalau you jadi ordinary sama dengan other applicants untuk mohon pekerjaan, dan itu yang jadi susah. Sometimes you akan rasa macam aku tak ada rezeki, aku tak dapat kerja and everything, so aku tanam anggur and everything. Why? Because you are ordinary. Right? The reason is that bukan you tak ada rezeki, bukan you tak ada peluang pekerjaan. Right? The reason is, the problem is with you. Because you yang nak jadi ordinary, you rasa macam buat apa aku nak buang masa, right? 5 tahun masa tu, okay? You nak pergi kelas balik kelas, pergi kelas balik kelas. Orang lain pun buat benda yang sama, pergi kelas balik kelas, pergi kelas balik kelas. Right? Tengok cerita Korea, right? Pergi tengok wayang, keluar berenda, alright? Pergi dating sana sini. So you spend most of the time buat benda-benda yang itu instead of you nak improve yourself untuk soft skills and whatnot. So then bila dah habis belajar tu, then you salahkan orang lain because you tak dapat pekerjaan. Sometimes you akan rasa dia tu dapat kerja, dia pakai kabel. Alright, bila you dah ada all the soft skills, ada additional certificates and whatnot, alright, untuk added value dalam you punya CV, you tak perlu pun kabel-kabel ni semua tu. Kabel you ialah you sendiri. CV you punya certificates, you punya experience dalam any curricular activities. Itulah kabel you yang sebenar. Bukannya kabel you kena datuk tu, or you kena orang tu, you kena orang ni. No, do not believe in orang lain yang boleh tolong you untuk dapat pekerjaan. If you believe in that, then you dah ni I bukanlah nak jadi ustaz, but you know, you dah fikir yang hanya orang tu je yang boleh tolong you, bagi rezeki kat you. Because kalau dia tolong you, seolah-olah dia yang bagi rezeki tu kat you. No, believe in yourself, right? So how do you believe in yourself? Because you have to get yourself out from your comfort zone. Kalau if you do not get yourself out from your comfort zone, then ini yang akan jadi masalah kepada pengangguran, right? So believe me, kalau you have, you know, or if you have become an extraordinary student as compared to the other many ordinary students, right? Your future will be brighter than the other, right? So, you know, take this opportunity to improve yourself, to, you know, have something for not only for you, right, but for your inner self, right, your confidence level, yeah, the way you speak, right, the way you present, right, the way you know, produce your piece of works and so on. So within these 5 years, all right, get yourself involved in, you know, any a number of extra curricular activities, especially in mooting competitions, because you know, dengan satu competition tu dia aja you dah boleh explore macam-macam bidang, I mean macam-macam ilmu, right, or knowledge, right, in terms of research, right, especially the knowledge of law yang you takkan dapat dalam any other lecture halls, right, at the faculty. So I believe that's all for me. So I hope that you know, we have our former mooter, Kak Anis over here. Is she around?
Kejap, Kak Anis cakap dia tak tahu kenapa. Kejap. Dia tak boleh masuk sebab kejap Kejap. Saya rasa boleh. Kejap
Ini
Boleh. Kejap Dia dah invite Kak Anis.
all right, while waiting, so if you have any questions, then please shoot.
Saya dah cuba invite tapi tak boleh juga. Okay, ni pesanan daripada Kak Anis. Dia cakap dia ada masalah technical issue, and then dia bagi pesanan kepada Dr. Farid dan semua, send my warm regards to them. Okay, tell them best of luck. So dia ucapkan semoga berjaya. Tu ucapan daripada Kak Anis lah. Dia minta maaf sangat-sangat sebab ada masalah technical issue dengan Teams. Okay, so tak apa. Dr. Lin ada apa-apa nak dikongsikan sebelum kita tamatkan program malam ni?
Okay, I feel that it's important for us to hear from the experienced mooters because they are the ones yang went through it just like we did yesterday untuk Namco. Anis has a lot of experience, okay, antara yang banyak experience dengan IHL lah, okay, tetapi yang lain-lain tu pun banyak juga pengalaman. Kita ada sesi sharing ke? Maknanya macam as a researcher macam semalam tu ada tak? Like one by one, everybody share like 3 minutes, tak ada?
Ya, sepatutnya ada, tapi sebab hari ni banyak yang terlibat dengan program macam light. Macam Kak Alia dia terlibat dengan light, Kak Akila dia ada masalah connection internet lah, dia terpaksa pergi ke rumah dia untuk dapatkan connection internet di kelas. Itu antara penghalang lah untuk dia orang
Siapa yang kat sini yang ada yang boleh cerita sikit? Personally, I mean apart from Hakim, sebab Hakim dah cerita tadi, which is okay in perspective of researcher. Anis ni tengah belum sort lagi dia punya connection.
Dia masih lagi ada problem.
Okay, tak apa. So I can just explain, maybe macam share sikit lah, nak explain tu tak juga. In terms of issue yang I notice dekat our faculty lah, okay. For the past few years, few competitions, IHL is one of the yang kita frequently join lah, okay, for in terms of competition. Issues that I face usually is about when you go for audition or some students are interested to join, they are not familiar with Moot, however, okay. So when we have this kind of platform, it's good because before you go for audition or before you even make a decision about going for mooting or not, at least you get the exposure first. The other thing about mooting, I feel that it's difficult to get more candidates untuk audition disebabkan mooting is something that we tend to be afraid of, to the extent that sometimes you ada soalan pun you tak nak tanya, ataupun benda tu mungkin mooting ni it's not everybody's cup of tea, okay, and I understand that. I still feel that we can give it a try. So even though what Dr. Farid said is correct, okay, in terms of macam preparation, memang I admit it's scary and everything lah. But don't deprive yourself of the opportunity, because I feel that you deserve a chance at least once. It doesn't have to be like every time or all the time kan, tapi once you minat mood, why not? Macam kata Dr. Farid, you should go for it. Like Hakim said, there should not be the first and the last kan, you should proceed with it. Okay je, but at least try once. We had mooters yang dia try once, lepas tu tak nak dah. Ada yang lepas tu dia start mood, lepas tu dia nak lagi. So from my point of view, I feel that even if you try it once, it doesn't make you macam rasa bound untuk go for second or third one lah. But of course Dr. Farid and I will push you, especially when we find that you ada potential yang sangat besar untuk fakulti, untuk USIM, okay. So again, it's down to you. But if you have any concerns ke, kalau you nak PM or you want to ask questions right now, okay, please do so. Even if you feel that you are afraid ke apa ke, you boleh cakap dengan I tak tahu lah kalau orang-orang lain. You can just PM me and say, Dr. Lin, I ada benda-benda ni tapi I have this concern. Okay, I heard about mooting being difficult, ataupun sometimes kita ada satu impression yang macam okay, mooting is not for me. When I was in UIA pun I ada impression macam tu juga, because I just macam make a conclusion that I will not go for it. Okay, but it's something yang I wish I tried once. Tapi tak apalah, because benda tu dah lepas kan. So for you all, since you are undergraduate students, try. Don't feel afraid. At least you can start ask questions. You boleh tanya, you boleh PM mooters or researchers or me or Dr. Farid. Anyone that you feel comfortable, or Hakim, because obviously he's now in Moot Club and he had experience before. So always feel free to ask, macam to ask her, or to share your concern. Okay, maybe you want to but you have this doubt, ataupun you don't want tapi people find that you have potential. Different students will have different perspective lah, okay. So feel free to open yourself to opportunities by asking questions or by PM ke, boleh je, sebab sekarang mooting pun is part of the subject kan. So those that have joined national moots, when they learn mooting subject pun dia ada advantage sebab dia dah pernah masuk mooting before this and in an actual competition. So kalau pun you kena ambil subject moot, you have gone through the moot competition outside tau, yang which is more challenging compared to you simply learn in classroom or in moot court lah. Okay, when it's not COVID, kita betul-betul practice kat moot court kan. So open yourself up to opportunities. You will go very far. Okay, do you know apa ni, Puan Kuratu Aini kan? Ain is our senior. So she did her CLP. Okay, maybe I'm not sure you have heard about her or not. So now she's a practicing lawyer. I remember her telling me that I'm so glad I did mooting because kalau tak, I memang shaky dekat court. Or like I really don't know, I have no clue what to do in legal punya field lah, if that is where you want to go. So she felt that she benefited a lot from mooting punya pressure sebab mooting punya pressure will ensure that you boleh je maintain your composure, your strength with pressure outside or after your graduation. So the fruit you don't get it like now, but at some point of your life you feel that, oh, thankfully I joined sebab all those pressure actually benefit you for your future that in ways that you might not expect. Kan? So itulah, itu je yang I rasa I boleh mention lah in terms of bila I nak cari candidates untuk masuk moot tu is a challenge lah, I would say. So hopefully we have more candidates insyaAllah. That's it from me.
Okey, terima kasih Dr. Lin. Nampaknya itulah kekangan kita bila buat program secara online ni ialah masalah teknikal lah. So terima kasih semua sudi hadir. Jadi sebelum kita tangguhkan program ni kejap Kak Anis nak voice note untuk bagi pesanan dia lah kepada audiens. Okey, sementara menunggu tu boleh kita ambil gambar. So semua boleh buka kamera. So ni kita akan masukkan dalam Instagram Moot Club lah. Yang lain?
Right, yang lain bukalah kamera. Walaupun tak lawa, kita nak ambil gambar juga. Video makeup pun tak lawa juga, tak apa.
Okey, kita ambil gambar dalam.
Nampak rumah Dr. Z yang bersepah tu.
Okey, so kita akan ambil gambar
Tak
dalam
baik.
dalam kiraan 1, 2, 3. Okey, sekali lagi 1, 2, 3. Okey, ni kali terakhir. Okey. 1, 2, 3. Okey, so kita dah terima voice note daripada Kak Anis. So saya play .
Okay.
Hi guys, first of all I would like to say congratulations for being part of IHL team for this year. I'm not sure how the IHL competition this year would be conducted, whether or not it will be in the form of virtual or physical competition, but nevertheless I wish you guys all the best. And as someone who has a bit experience of joining mooting, particularly in IHL for the past 4 years, I think 3 or 4 years, I would like to share a bit of tips and tricks to you guys. Because I don't know what's the range of the year you guys are joining. Maybe some of you are currently in your third year or fourth year, but just a little bit of tips that I can share.
Kejap ada lagi audio dia.
So if I were to give you a sum up or like a wrap up of tips and tricks of IHL, I don't think it is possible to cover within few minutes because I definitely have a lot to tell you guys on what's the preparation, what's to do, what's the do's and don'ts if you are, whether or not you are a mooter or a researcher. But I think as a mooter especially, you first of all you have to familiarize yourself with the mood problem or with the statement of facts, and you have to determine if you are on the prosecution or if you are on the defense team. You have to strategize what is the key points of a prosecution and what is the key points of a defense. So basically, when you read the mood problem, from the first paragraph until the very last paragraph, you have to underline, or you have to be more particular on which parts will be more on the sides of the prosecution and which parts will be more on the side of the defense. Okay, so during my time, I had to play both roles, which are the prosecution and the defense. So the burden lies on you on whether or not you have to identify that these paragraphs lies heavily on the prosecution, and this on the even said paragraph lies particularly on the defense side. Also, the mood problem must be at the very of your fingertips. That's number one, because whether you want or not, the judges will definitely bombard you with questions of facts. I'm not saying that they will not emphasis on the law. They will also emphasis on the law on the IHL itself. Be familiarized with a lot of do a lot of reading on certain provisions on the Rome Statute. Familiarize yourself with the elements of crimes. You make sure to remember the prominent provisions, the provisions that have been used in your mood problem. What are the crimes falls under which provisions, and what are the elements of crimes that are involved into your current situation. And also, most importantly, to distinguish whether your case or whether your mood problem falls under international armed conflict or non-international armed conflict. Because once you have distinguished whether it is IAC or NIAC, then only you can decide on which jurisdiction you will use for the rest of your submission.
Okay, Kak Anis ada record lagi satu audio. Semua nak dengar lagi ke?
Boleh.
Okay, sementara tunggu Kak Anis record tu, boleh saya minta semua audience untuk ucapkan thank you Kak Anis. Ramai-ramai lah dekat sini. So mungkin boleh buatkan ada ceria sikit hari ni ya, sebab hari ni dia baru balik kerja. So okay, sementara menunggu tu, okay, boleh kita buat ucapan. Saya jemput audience untuk buka mic, and then dan ucapkan thank you Kak Anis. Okay. So 1, 2, 3.
Thank you Kak Anis. Thank you Kak Anis.
Thank you Kak Anis.
Thank you Kak Anis.
Okay. Okay, Nilas.
Other than the tips that I can share here, also maybe you can do a timeline, because IHL is more or less about a storyline. So you have to be very master on your dates, years, and also timeline of each event. Make sure you understand the flow of your case, because when the judges ask you, you would macam you would certainly have to be very flexible and relevant to your case. Otherwise, if you are not familiar enough with your master of facts or with your moot problem, then you will go busted lah, definitely. So during my time, I will always do a mind map, or I would always do a column, or I create myself like a storytelling of the said moot problem. For example, from this year to this year, what's going to happen and what's going to happen next, and you can do a proper timeline on yourself, do a notes or a mind map. And I'm not sure whether Dr. Fari will introduce you to the techniques that we have been using before. We don't read submissions, but we do mind map. So I think at the very beginning, I mean, for the first or second training, macam baru-baru lagi, you guys can rely on your submission, but slowly you should take away your paper from you and start to do unscripted submission, so that whenever the judges ask you or something, then you would have you would grasp. That's why I said it's very important to know your storyline and your timeline lah. So when the judges ask you, you would have no issue on explaining on your submission. And okay, here's another last tip that I think is very, very significant.
Okay, so itu saja daripada Kak Anis. So and then dia cakap welcome and good luck. So dengan kata-kata good luck terakhir daripada Kak Anis tu, maka tersimpullah Moot Refreshment HL pada malam ini. Jadi terima kasih semua untuk sudi hadir bagi program malam ni. Dan harap semua dapat mengambil sesuatu lah daripada program Moot Refreshment pada malam ini. Terima kasih.
Thank you, Hakim. Thank you, Doctor.
Bye. Sleep well.
Thank you, Hakim and Doctor.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Bye. Selamat berehat.
Thank you all.
Sedih.
Stay safe.
Bye.
Bye.
Semoga mimpi ngeri. Bye.